And we're already back in for more Final Fantasy VII. I would suggest that time is there to be used, not time is there to be wasted, so why don't we immediately head back in? And that's what we'll try and do in most episodes. We might have a very small recap if something huge has happened the episode before. So today, we took on Mako Reactor 1 as our group of heroes. We exploded the entire Mako Reactor, and now we have escaped through the city of Midgar, found our way to the slums of Sector 7, and we're going to carry on with the main story. Why don't we just have a quick talk with this fellow over here, see what's up, and then on we go to hopefully meet some new friends. Hey now. Oops. What on earth are you doing? Just butt out. Jeez. Ah, you came to see it too? There was a bombing on top. If this pillar should come down, then everyone in the slums is dust. Well, no point in worrying about that. Hey, check it out. It's huge, ain't it? Now what you're looking at there is the supporting strut for the plate hanging directly above, one of the multiple that go around the ringed city of Midgar. I think it's something that Final Fantasy developers have always managed to do, is to give a sense of scale to things that they build, because look how huge that looks. Hey, this is a strange and wonderful place. This is my place. You can come here when you want. See you, bro. I like that little moment. Hey, Cloud, over here, now. Alright, let's go follow our friend. Have fun, just Barrett breaking his way into the pub, clearing it out. And we had a brief glimpse of a friend there. Explosions, oh man, Avalanche is so cool. Did you hear? No, what? There's a news update. They say there was a terrorist explosion up above, and this time it was a Mako Reactor. You know what this means? No, what? You see, I keep on top of these things, and if you ask me, knock out Midgar's power, then all of its computers and signals are going to be knocked out too. Financially, there must have been about 1 billion gil worth of damage, and that ain't all. A lot of innocent people got killed too. If the explosion was in the middle of the night, that would have been one thing. At least these people could have gone in their sleep. It's a thing that you often find, is you don't always get any sense of repercussions to some of your actions in games, and yet this is a very, very small impression. But I like that you do get that at the very least. Just a little indicator that maybe what you did isn't going to be beloved by everyone. Whoa, geez, I'm blitzed. Just love them homemade cocktails, but they sure do creep up on you. I always love that fella. Okay, go on ahead. Oh, that sound. Papa? Marlene? Aren't you going to say anything to Cloud? Welcome home, Cloud. Looks like everything went well. Did you fight with Barrett? Yeah. I should have known. He's always pushing people around, and you've always been in fights ever since you were little. I was worried. Everyone's favourite, right? We go back, we were kids, and somehow you find yourself developing a crush on a set of polygons. Tifa. I'm so glad everyone's safe. Now let's talk to the gang, Jesse, Wedge and Biggs. Oh, Cloud, Tifa really knows how to cook. Anyway, let me tell you something. What about? Tifa always lets me taste her cooking, and look at me now, I'm roly-poly. Don't know whether I should be happy or sad, but it's the good food and drinks that make this shop famous. Hey, Wedge, you're getting all excited. Stop making such a mess. Ah, nothing like that first drink after a job. But why don't you have one too? Yeah, why not? That's more like it. Even if you were with Soldier, you're still a rookie here, so you better listen to whatever I tell you. Sorry, Cloud, Marlene seems a little shy. Well, when someone doesn't want to be bothered, we won't bother them. Let's go back outside. Papa, welcome home. You alright, Barrett? Great. Get in here, fools. We're starting the meeting. I love it, hidden beneath the pinball machine. Alright, should we talk to Tifa, get our first moments? Sit down. How about something to drink? Give me something hot. Just a minute, I'll make one for you. You know, I'm relieved you made it back safely. What's with you all of a sudden? The job wasn't even tough. I guess not. You were in Soldier. Make sure you get your pay from Barrett. Don't worry, once I get that money, I'm out of here. Cloud, are you feeling alright? Yeah? Why? No reason. You just look a little tired, I guess. Strange to come back to this. It's been a little while since I played this game, and I've played the remakes, of course, and I've spent a lot of time in Tifa's Bar there, and I remember even Tifa's Bar in Power Wash Simulator, so spending that time here. And yet, this still looks right. This still looks like how it's supposed to. I love the modern versions as well, but this looks perfect. Let's go meet the gang. Oops. Hey, look at the news. What a blast. Think it was all my bomb? All I really did was just make it like the computer told me. Oh, I must have made a miscalculation somewhere. There's a little bit in Final Fantasy Remake which might explain what actually happened there. But I think it's left more open-ended in this version. Do you think I'm a little too uptight? No. Well, that's okay. Don't worry about me. I don't look like it, but I'm a coward at heart. Hope we can't get too big this way. Up. Yo, Cloud, there's something I want to ask you. Was there anyone from Soldier fighting us today? None. I'm positive. You sound pretty sure. If there was anyone from Soldier, you wouldn't be standing here now. Hey, don't go thinking you're so bad just because you was in Soldier. Haha, I love it. Poor Biggs. Yeah, you're strong. Probably all them guys in Soldier are. But don't forget that your skinny ass is working for Avalanche now. Don't get no ideas about hanging on to Shinra. Staying with Shinra? You asked me a question and I answered it. That's all. The square off is beautiful. I'm going upstairs. I want to talk about my money. You do get this nice impression of Cloud really early in the game that he's just very cold, uncaring. I think it contrasts nicely with his appearance, which looks so goofy. And maybe we'll find out as the game goes on that there's a bit more to him. Oh, wait, Cloud. Tifa, just let him go. Looks like he still misses the Shinra. Shut up. I don't care about neither Shinra nor Soldier. Don't get me wrong. I don't care about Avalanche or the planet for that matter. There's something quite petulant about the guy. Certainly at this stage of the game. It's very childlike, and I think you can see that most of the characters in this game, if I remember correctly, are in their very early 20s or possibly up to their 30s, or to their late 20s, sorry, up to 30. It would make sense that there's possibly a quite juvenile approach that they have to life. Listen, Cloud, I'm asking you, please join us. Sorry, Tifa. The planet is dying. Slowly but surely it's dying. And someone has to do something. So let Barrett and his buddies do something about it. It's got nothing to do with me. So you're really leaving? You're just gonna walk right out ignoring your childhood friend? Sorry. You forgot the promise, too. Promise? So you did forget. Remember? It was 7 years ago. It's always made me want to live in a small town with a water tower. Or a well. It's a very stupid thing, but I still, thanks to this game, consider wells and water towers to be surprisingly romantic locations. Which is an absolutely odd bizarre thing to think, but it is the way that I view them, thanks to this game. Look, the well. Do you remember? Yeah, back then. Thought you'd never come and I was getting a little cold. I like as well how we're shown that clear night sky at this moment. When we think that up until this point, and this isn't really so clear just because of the camera angle we get, but we've had a bombing mission inside of reactors, this giant closed-off area, a very brief foray out into the streets of this big industrial metropolis, and now we're down in the slums where literally the sky above our head is obscured by these gigantic metal barriers. And now we get an image of their childhood with a blue, clear sky. And there he is, young Cloud. I'm sorry I'm late. You said you wanted to talk to me about something. Come this spring, I'm leaving town for Midgar. All the boys are leaving town. But I'm different from them. I'm not just going to find a job. I want to join Soldier. I'm going to be the best there is, just like Sephiroth. Sephiroth? The great Sephiroth? Isn't it hard to join Soldier? I probably wouldn't be able to come back to this town for a while. Huh? You make it. Will you be in the newspapers? I'll try. Hey, let's make a promise. If you get really famous and I'm ever in a bind, you'll come save me. Alright? What? If I'm ever in trouble, my hero will come and rescue me. I want to experience that at least once. What? Come on, promise me. Alright, I promise. So we have that lovely sense of design palette. So again, we started off in the Mako Reactor. We started off coming in on that metal train, going into the metal Mako Reactor, coming out into that modern bustling city. And now we're here, in a bar full of wooden tables all around, and we get that little transport back in time into their childhood, and you saw the buildings there were wooden buildings, and they had this almost medieval look to them, the kind of thing that you might associate traditionally with some of the earlier Final Fantasy games, or fantasy in general. And we find ourselves in between these two worlds, their childhood with that more organic feel, and then their adulthood, and where they have to be drawn to do the missions with that more metallic color palette, metallic structures. I think it's a beautiful way of just really splitting these two separate parts of their timeline. Remember now, don't you, our promise? I'm not a hero and I'm not famous, so I can't keep our promise. But you got your childhood dream, didn't you? You joined Soldier. So come on, you've got to keep your promise. Barrett climbing the pipes. Wait a sec, big time Soldier. Always looks a bit weird. Promise a promise. Here. Receive Barrett's stash. This is my pay? Don't make me laugh. What? Then you'll... Got the next mission lined up? I'll do it for free. Let me try that one again. You got the next mission lined up? I'll do it for $3,000. What? It's okay, it's okay. We're really hurting for help, right? That money's for Marlene's schooling. 2,000. Thanks, Cloud. It must be a terribly uncomfortable place to sit. So we find ourselves in the hideout, and I feel like the music gives us a sense of impetus. It's always been something that Final Fantasy has been famous for, is the quality of the music, the variety of the music. But do you feel like I do when you hear this song, that it's got a real motivation to it? Go on, it's time to get out, it's time to go and do some things. So let's see what's up. Good morning, Cloud. Did you sleep well? Or a little bit of riz to start the day. Next to you, who wouldn't? I don't know what you mean. I'm going this time. Our target's the Sector 5 reactor. Head for the station first. I'll fill you in on the train. Yo, Cloud. Before the next mission, I got something I want to ask you. I don't really know how to use materia. I'll give you that one we found. Now teach me how to use it. Okay, so we're going to say to Barret you wouldn't understand, because this is our way to ignore the tutorial. We'll look at materia together. So this what makes them guys and soldiers so great, huh? I'll ask Jesse again later. You're in charge. So we now have access to the materia system in the menu. Hey Cloud, I got a message from the weapon shop man upstairs. There's something he wants to give you, don't forget. Marlene, you watch the store while we're gone. Alright, good luck. It's interesting, isn't it, the way they present Marlene to you so early in the game, and you see her now taking control of the bar all by herself. And it's such an endearing thought. And I think they do a good job of showing Barret's real attachment to her, the way that he comes in, the way he picked it up, put on his shoulders. And it really gives you this grounding throughout the course of the game that you have Marlene there, back at home base. And if you just sort of think about that now and again, it can help you just really maintain an image of why they're carrying on and why they feel the need to keep fighting. Because Barret and Cloud, Barret in particular, he's not really fighting for himself, he's fighting for the planet, he's fighting for the future, and why does he care so much? He cares about Marlene. Ah, there's the whole gang, but we're not going to go that way immediately. We're going to take a quick look around. What we see is the Sector 7 slums, and we're just going to take a look at materia. So I'm just going to make sure I know on this controller the keys to jump between. Yep, okay, perfect. So every character has a potential 8 slots. You can see that the pointer is moving across there, the very top right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what you have is every single weapon in the game that you pick up is going to have these little slots on it. Some of them linked, like you see here, those 2 slots are linked. Some of them unlinked. And you can fill these with pieces of materia. Cloud right now has something called lightning, we'll take it out, and something called ice. And when you put this piece of materia in, at the bottom left, this is what happens. You gain a new ability. So if we take lightning, we gain the bolt ability. And you also have these minor changes to your overall character. Your equip effect, your strength goes down, your magic goes up. So it's essentially a way of controlling what every character is going to be. Are they going to be a spellcaster? Are they going to be more of a hard hitter? And we have different kinds of materia, but right now we've just got simple green materia. The simple green materia just casts straightforward spells. And why don't we start off by being nice and balanced? We've got Cloud, we've got Tifa, we've got Barret. Let's give them 1 each. So maybe let's give Cloud lightning, is a bit arbitrary. I always like giving restore to Barret. And let's give Tifa ice. So they all have something they can use. So if for whatever reason we come up and find ourselves about to fight some kind of enemy that we can't take on using our physical attacks, Cloud and Tifa both have an option that will allow them to fight, and Barret can maintain all the healing. Do we have any items? Not in particular yet, just a Gatling gun. Let's arrange them by type and move on. Don't be taken in by the Shinra. Mako will not last forever. It's the life of the planet, and that life is finite. The end is coming. Saviors of the planet, Avalanche. As Cloud says, what crappy handwriting. And look at all this graffiti. Let's just sort of dive in and out, the old-style RPG way of playing. Another slow day. This keeps up, the store's going under. Can't sell good medicine in a slum like this. Oh, this doesn't happen every day. Are you a customer? Oh, welcome. We sell, we buy. We have more material for sale, fire, ice, lightning, restore, and you'll see there one of them we don't own. It's a nice handy keep track on the right hand side, owned and equipped, and we don't own any of those. So how about we pick up one fire? And that should now allow us to equip that on Barrett, meaning every single member of our party, daisies, every single member of our party has an ability to cast some sort of aggressive spell. I'm not going to worry too much about the other items for now. So what's in here? Ah, the weapons store. Ah, you'll forget about it. Oh, you? Get my friend on the second floor to teach you. So he's testing out his guns. Hey, wait a minute, you. You can't just walk out of here without buying something. Might be unhealthy for you, if you know what I mean. What do they have for sale? We could make a small upgrade, pick up some bangles. They're only worth 160 each, 3 of those. Everyone gets a slight stat upgrade. Let's equip them. You only equip 3 pieces of equipment. Your weapon, your armor, or your armlet, and an accessory. Let's just quickly upgrade that for everyone. And you'll notice that they now have a slot of materia on their bangle, on their armlet, but we can't really do much with that right now. You dried up old geese, you're tired. Why don't you rest up on the 3rd floor of my house? Just one condition, you gotta give me some cash. Not for now. Cheap ass. So who do we have on the next floor? Nice big tutorial area again. Hey, this is the beginner's hall. You say you're a beginner, but your eyes say you're not. Don't mess with me. I used to be in Soldier. I'll tell you how much I know, and for free, too. Alright, so notice it's quite nice there. Cloud is actually saying to the other guy, what do you want to know? And for lore purposes, Cloud must know how to do everything, right? So Cloud's actually going to teach this guy, and that's how we can interact with the tutorial. We, however, have no real need to, because again, we'll learn this as we go on through the game. We did, however, pick up this materia. Hey, you got one. That was materia. Next, take this treasure chest. A nice ether. It's a magic power restoration item. So, another materia. And this is where that link comes in handy. Because this new materia, you see the colour there, a bit different? I think it's blue. I'm colourblind, so I can't always tell. If you pair that with something, and you see these 2 materia slots, they're tied together, they're linked. If you pair it, that spell will now be attached to the other spell. So right now, Cloud can cast lightning on everyone. And that's where you find the system is surprisingly complex. It has a lot more going for it than you might think. Whereas it initially seems very simple. Hey, this is a slum, you can't stay for free. What are you gonna do? Doesn't just see in the bed make you sleepy? Ah, no way, kid. Tough guy, huh? Better sleep when you can, you better save when you can. That's the trick to being tough. I remember that old dude. There's a cuteness to that. You have to appreciate the ballsiness, for lack of a better word, where that kid feels confident enough to come out and say this to you. But we're done here. We're actually looking to... got a bit stuck. We're looking to move on and advance. So let's head back out to the last part of town. We could go and visit this house as well, but we're going to carry on. We don't want to get too tied up checking every last corner. Little save. And we're not quite going to stop here. We're going to keep going for a little while longer, but a little save never hurts. Not save 1. That was from an old playthrough. Save 10. And we'll put it on slot 2. I've had it. Me too. It's the first time we've ever agreed on something. Yeah. Well then, shall we? Yeah. It's this bizarre thing. As they tumble to the ground. Join the gang on the train. That poor fellow at the front, you recognize him? Yo! This ain't no private car, so split up. Hoodlums again. God, don't I just have all the luck? As he gets nice and comfortable. You say something? I said you say something. look at that. It got empty all of a sudden. What's going on? Damn! It's empty because of guys like you. Aye. You've seen the news, right? Avalanche says there'll be more bombings. Only devoted employees like me would go to Midgar on a day like today. You work for Shinra? I won't give in to violence. Barrett! I don't even know what words to add there. You son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. You lucky son of a bitch. So what are we gonna do now? Damn, the hell you so calm? You're busting up my rhythm. Looks like they just finished connecting the cars and we're finally leaving. So what's our next target? Listen to Mr. Serious about his work. Alright, I'll tell you. Jesse's probably already told you, but there's a security checkpoint at the top plate. An ID scan system checking all the trains. Which Shinra is very proud of. Can't use our fake IDs anymore. Good morning and welcome to Midgar Lines. Arrival time at Sector 4 station is 11:45. That means we've got only 3 more minutes to the ID checkpoint. Alright, in 3 minutes we're jumping off this train. You got it? Cloud, come over here. Let's look at the railway map monitor. What does this guy have to say? Hey, you're the only ones that'll talk to me or come to my house. I'm impressed. That's just cute, isn't it? Little background character, a little bit of story. It looks like you've seen this already. It's all right. Come a little closer. No, we wouldn't mind, would we? We wouldn't mind at all. That's odd. The ID checkpoint was supposed to be further down. Type A security alert. Unidentified passengers confirmed. A search of all cars will be conducted. Repeat, Type A security alert. What's happening? What's going on? We're in trouble. I'll explain later. Hurry, get to the next car. Damn, someone blew it. Unidentified passengers located in car number 1, preparing for lockdown. Let's go, keep it up. Car 1 locked down, upgrading to level 2 warning. Hurry, they're locking the door, sir. Just run. Change it to plan 2. See, I always like this, that we have the timer running. I think that's very interesting, and you've seen already we've had it twice. I think it's just a little... It's not too pressured. As you see, I've just slowly walked through, but it gives you a little feeling of impetus. Combine that with the flashing light, combine that with the music, it just gives this scene a little more oomph than it might otherwise have. Car number 2 locked down, upgrading to warning level 3. I sound like an ITV newsreader. Alright, we clear? Not yet, they're starting another check. If we're caught, we're done for. But don't worry, if we move up the train car by car, we should get past it. Awful. Unidentified passengers moving to front of train, currently tracking location. That guy stole our money. Johnny says goodbye and adios, Midgar. The old man looks very uncomfortable. Locked down, upgraded to warning level 4. Who'd expect underwear bandits in this day and age? They wiped me out. A scary broad made me take the bomb. Of course I couldn't well refuse her. Isn't that cool? Just a little bit of individual characters that you might miss if you just speed your way through, but you do normally just have time to talk to them. Car number 4 locked down, upgrading to maximum security alert. Alright, we made it. Yo, this way. Let's go, we're gonna dive out of here. Scary, huh? Too late for that now. Why'd you come along anyway? Because... Hey, you two, there ain't no time for that. Alright, let's get Tifa out, shall we? Yeah, I've made up my mind. Watch closely, I'm gonna jump. You don't care if I go first? Hey, a leader always stays till the end. Now don't worry about me, just go. Yo, don't go getting your spiky ass hurt. It's only the beginning of the mission. I think that's always nice. You get a sense with Barrett that he does care about people. Even if he frames it as it's the mission, you get a sense that he cares. Later, you take care of the rest. Good. So far, everything going as planned. Now, don't let your guard down till we get to the Sector 5 reactor. Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse got everything ready for us, so move it. Now, it does imply we go that way. The reactor's just down this tunnel. I say imply, it outwardly states. We're going to just run the other way for a few moments. Because, to be entirely honest, I can't remember if there's anything in this direction. It's been a little while, and that's one of the things that I try to do with games like this that I like, and games like this that I have an affinity for that stretches back over many years, is I do try not to play them too often. I do try to make sure that I give them some time to... Now let's attack the rear ones with Barrett, because Barrett does have his gun, so he'll do more damage there than our other members will. We're going to use Cloud's Limit Break. Now they're having statuses cast on them now. They've been wrapped in silk. You can imagine that's going to slow them down. So you'll notice that their animations have slowed ever so slightly, and if you see at the bottom right, their time bars, look how slow Cloud's and Barrett's are filling, and now Tifa's as well. There's no big deal, we should be able to round off this fight fairly quickly. Tifa does a bit less damage, we'll have her kill that last one, and then we'll send Barrett and Cloud onto the final. Perfect. But yeah, so I do like to leave a little bit of time in between playthroughs of these classic games, just so that they start to feel fresh all over again. Because I find that's one of the things that we can do very easily with gaming, is we can... Wow, that was a fast random battle. We can find ourselves almost rushing into them. Oh, look at that. Lightning magic on everyone. That's what that all materia does. We don't have to select a target. We can cast it on everyone. Let's do that. Now, these are machines, aren't they? So it should... Poof. Great damage. So yeah, we want to try and avoid these classic games that we play becoming stale over time, which they can definitely do. And I found that a game like this, if I leave it sort of 3, 4, 6 months in between playthroughs, I don't necessarily really enjoy the playthrough that comes next. But if I do what I did with this now, and I leave this for about a year... So the last time I played this was January 2024. Right now it's February 2025. We're going to skip actually to Cloud. I'm going to cast the same spell. And I didn't actually finish it that time. I only ended up playing part of the game. But at that time, it's just enough that I begin to forget where things are. I begin to not quite remember what's in treasure chests, where treasure chests can be found, and sometimes even little plot moments. I'm not going to forget the overarching plot, but moments, I might. Shimmer security, we better turn back. Well, we've come all this way. Let's have one fight, shall we? You're the Avalanche. Now, anyone who's played this game before will know that you really don't need to fight these guys, and there's no benefit to be found. And that's why we're doing it. Because some of the best things that you'll ever do in life are the things you do for no reason. So why not find another one here? Goodness, that multicast of Bolt is absolutely vile in the best way for this stage of the game. Now there is... Oh, we take some items, a grenade and an antidote, lovely. Intruders! Avalanche attacking. More security's coming, it's too dangerous. Okay, we're gonna run away and turn around. So, you'll see that Cloud, we've used some of his MP. We can't do that infinitely. We do have items that restore our MP, but we don't like to use them if we can avoid it, so we're going to try and hold off for now. And very likely the next fights, unless we come up against something like the 4 cannons, where it's so quick and simple to take them all out, using the lightning bolt, we'll probably try and use something more simple. We'll just use our attack option. So let's see what this is. Let's play it by ear. Let's see if Barrett gets a kill on the very first one. Very good. Now Cloud should get a kill as well. Cloud hits nice and hard. We'll use Barrett then to kill the one in the rear. Tifa will never get a kill. Yeah, she's too weak. And perfect, and Cloud should be the next one to get his attack, and we'll just use him to finish off the front. You heard the sound then, the audio was a little different for that attack. That was a critical hit, and I believe it does around double damage. If you've never played a game like this, by the way, and if you're looking to get into the Final Fantasy series, first of all, we're happy to be here and provide a method for you to see the story of this game, which you might want, for example, if you're going to be playing Final Fantasy Rebirth or Remake. But if you've never played any of these games, I would love to recommend that you start off. They're not as tough as they might sound to begin with. They're not that intimidating. But if you do start, I'd love to make a recommendation that you start off with Final Fantasy X. Very beginner-friendly, a lot of very straightforward systems. Does a good job of explaining how the game is to be played. And you might find that it goes a long way towards really softening and smoothing out your introduction to the series. Something we've talked about in a previous podcast. On which note, if you do happen to be a fan of Final Fantasy the series, what would you recommend for people who play for the first time? Myself, I've always recommended 10. Our friend on the channel, Banana Hammock Republic, they tend to recommend 15, they've mentioned, but they might also recommend 10. And what would you not recommend? For me, that was always Final Fantasy VI. I think it's a tremendous game, but not a very good way to get into it in the modern day. Those light beams are the Shinra security sensors. We can't go further. But luckily, find this. It's one damn tiny hole. You're telling me to squeeze into that to get under the plate? No way. But Cloud, what are we going to do? We're going to do what all the good people do. We're going to go down. Damn, man, that thing gives me the chills. Get a little pickup. Received an ether. Lovely. The game is nice and generous with those ethers for the moment, but I like to hold on to them and maybe sell them. They're quite valuable, rather than using them to restore magic. This is bizarrely one of the small areas in the game that stuck with me as a kid. One that just I remember. I don't know why I remember this area so precisely. Oh, little combination there, those flying fish and the machines. Let's use Bolt and pay attention to the damage that we do. We should do 80 to the machines and 100 to the fish. My goodness, so they must be weak in some way to Bolt. That would make sense. Water, element fish. That could well be what happened. Beautiful. Hope we get a nice amount of XP from that. Now this is the kind of area that and maybe this is why, the kind of area that in a game like this, you may typically have found yourself running around this area back and forth for a little while. And you would do this, just try and level up, gain your characters some experience points. Now we're not going to be doing this on the playthrough because we're going to try and maintain a good pace. So we're not going to make any extra fights that we don't need to do. But I will occasionally do a tiny bit of grinding off camera so that we don't find ourselves falling behind in levels. You typically in these games don't need to level drastically. And you can find yourself over-leveled fairly easily. But you often can reach situations where if you just play the game at a good tick, at a good pace, you can find yourself in a situation where you are possibly a little under-leveled and maybe not ready for certain areas. What do we see here? Jessie. Hello. I'm sorry. The ID scan problem on the train was all my fault. I modified your ID card and that's what did it. I did my best, but I failed. As a big fan of Jessie, we don't mind, do we? We'll give them some forgiveness. Perfect. This brings us out just here, so we've made sure we've checked this whole area. Can we say hi to Wedge? Still plenty of MP, sorry, so we'll do one more round of those magic attacks with Cloud. I just think if we let these enemies live for a bit too long, they might chip away at our health a little bit. I'd rather they didn't, so we can play that trade-off. We'll lose a bit of MP in the short term, but at least we'll stay nice and healthy. Okay, level 9 and 7. I typically like to get Tifa to catch up with the levels, but we're not going to be too worried today. Cloud, this way. The reactor's up this ladder. I think we see a ladder down here. Oh, do we not? Goodness gracious, I thought I remembered there being a ladder there. I think it's just a fenced-off area. My memory betrayed me. I did mention that it's been a while. Oops. Jessie's gone. She must have gone ahead. Perfect, and we see a little save point. Now, those are typically spaced out at intervals you'll hit around every 30 to 40 minutes, which is oddly perfect for us, because that's the sort of length that we're going to look at for these videos. So, when we reach this save point in just a few moments, we'll bring this we'll bring this episode of the Let's Play to a finish, and then we'll look to carry on immediately from that in the following episode. Now, these are going to be released every single day until the conclusion of the game, so we should be around 40, 50, 60 episodes. Oops. But we will put them in a playlist, so if you, for whatever reason, are choosing to just watch them all in one blast, which sounds great, honestly, then I'd suggest you won't really see any gap. We'll have a small goodbye at the end of each episode and then a small introduction. We'll try and keep it flowing as well as possible. But for now, that has been the end of this episode of the Let's Play. I'm going to say thank you very much for coming. It's been a pleasure having you with us. This has been Com from The Gamer's Advocate. We've loved having you. We hope to see you again soon. And mainly, we just wish you all the best. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And we'll see you again soon.